CITI South Africa Disability Career Expo is currently underway. It's the largest gathering in Africa that promotes employment opportunities for those living with disabilities. Pupils from dozens of schools also expected to attend. Well, let's speak to the head of the graduate programs. It's Lauren Den Besten joining us to tell us more about the expo. Lauren, morning to you. Good to have you on eNCA. Just tell me the importance of something like this, because I want to talk about issues that those who are disabled in our country still have to live with every single day. But before we get there, just tell me a bit about the expo. What's the idea?
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me on the air today. I really appreciate it. So the primary aim of the expo is to connect students with disabilities with corporates, also with NGOs, entrepreneurs with disabilities to network, to sort of introduce the students to how corporates can be inclusive of people with disabilities, and also the opportunity for corporates to exchange knowledge and also to exchange information on challenges about how to be more inclusive of people with disabilities, and in that way then help and foster and design spaces for people with disabilities in the workplace and in the community in general as well.
How difficult is it? Take me back to a student, but you mentioned students a moment ago that may or have a disability of some kind. How daunting is it for them to try and find a career? Because we're still not a very sensitive society, are we, to those who are disabled? And I'm sure that anxiety starts from when you're still a student, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. I just have to speak from my own personal experience. I have epilepsy. I was in the job market last year looking for a job as a graduate, and there was definitely a sense of fear in the way that would someone want me as an employee, given that I would perhaps need reasonable accommodation. There's always this sort of fear that you're not going to meet the expectations of an employer. Are you going to be doing the best work that they would want you to do despite you needing reasonable accommodation? So there is a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear when it comes to thinking, are you going to be class in the same way that an able-bodied person would be? And I think something like the Disability Careers Expo is saying that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you if you have a disability, and that obviously really controls the fears, or really stymies the fears in terms of what, say, I went through last year, and I know millions of other South African children are going through. But this is an incredible opportunity to showcase that this is not how it is, and that we have actually come a long way in terms of how corporates and schools and NGOs are working together to fight this the exclusion of people with disabilities. Yeah.
So that's from the students' perspective as well. I'm glad you mentioned the big corporates getting involved as well. How forward-thinking are they, Lauren? I mean, I know you're going to have a few people and companies from the corporate sector at the expo as well, but how forward-thinking in reality, day-to-day, do you think corporate South Africa is in assisting and accommodating, quite rightly, those who might need a bit more assistance?
Well, I think it's a mixed bag, right? I think that, despite COVID being a horrible thing, what has happened is that we can see that we can all work from home and work remotely. This is something that disabled activists have been fighting for years. So in that sense, I think corporates have really taken the opportunity to, use this as a platform to start letting their workers work more remotely. And that helps, I think, a lot of disabled people who are more comfortable at home. In the same breath, there is a big drive at the moment of disability audits that are taking place across corporates to see how to better incorporate assistive technologies, to see how they can train up their staff in order to make the space around them with people with disabilities in the workplace better. So, yeah, I mean, there's always more that we can do, but I think in general, there is definitely progress being made, specifically given the progress in technology that is currently happening.
Then just see, today is the last day as well. Is it too late for anyone watching at home to perhaps watch something online, get some info from Facebook or your website? Where can someone go who perhaps can't make it to the expo? It's already into the last day. Lauren, where can they get some more info on what you do and how maybe they can get involved?
They can, with love, go on to Disability Connect's Instagram page, Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as Creative Space Media. They will also be taking videos throughout the day and will be putting that on their websites and their respective social media pages later. So, yeah, I think there's also just opportunity. If you need to give them a call, go to Creative Space Media, and you can also drop the Disability Connect's email address, some emails if you would like. And then it will be broadcasted throughout next week, I know, everywhere. So, yeah.
It's going to be, you're throwing it out everywhere, social media, online, websites. Just look for Disability Connect. Lauren, I really appreciate your time. All the best with what's the last day of the Expo. Lauren Den Besten from CITI, South Africa.